So from in the hallway, you can hear his activities inside his apartment. Yes? You have to say it out loud. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, approach your honor. And we can take a moment, Joshua. This is fine. We're not in a rush, okay?
Yeah, we need a moment.
We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Amber Geiger, guilty of murder as charged in the indictment.
Be advised, it does look like we have one on the ground.
It's amazing that I'm doing another video like this in such a short time. But folks, here we go again. Now, this is like one of the most tragic situations. It just never ceases to surprise me or amaze me. Here you have this young brother with his whole life ahead of him, going into his apartment and gets gunned down. Coincidentally, 10 days after he testifies in one of the nation's biggest trials ever to be played on television and over the internet and everything. Now, this young man, Joshua Brown, testified, for those of you who don't know, testified in the Amber Geiger case on behalf of Botham Jean. He stated that as he rounded the corner, he heard two people arguing like it was just a lot of chatter. And then he heard the two gunshots and he turned around and ran the other way. Now, Joshua used to live right directly across from Botham Jean. And he broke down on the stand and cried. It was just sad. And now 10 days later, this young man himself has fallen victim to gun violence. And if you look at it, it all just seems like such a big coincidence that it's right after this big trial he testified in. Man, is anybody else sick of this besides me? Like, only our people are being gunned down in the streets, gunned down in their homes, gunned down on sofas, gunned down in their beds, gunned down wherever, in their cars. I know I'm not the only one. I won't even ask that question again. I know I'm not the only one that feels this way, that is just tired. Like, I literally expect this type of thing to happen. And I understand why it's happening and why it's going to continue to happen and get much, much worse than it already is. But I'll explain that later in the video. So this young man with his whole life ahead of him had a daughter He wasn't a career criminal or anything like that. He was just a young man living in this country trying to make the best of what he can with what he had. He was trying to make the best out of his life, and look how somebody just cut his life short just like that in an instant, as if his life meant nothing. Nothing. And all of his friends said he had no enemies, no one was after him. So how all of a sudden do this guy miraculously come up shot in his own apartment complex parking lot as he got out of his vehicle and started walking towards his house or his apartment? And if you heard the police describe it, it was one shot, bam, then a double tap. Pay attention to the words people use now. The police said it was one shot followed by a double tap. Bam, bam. See, you have to pay attention. Then you'll start to see the big picture. Now, here's this man with his child. Now she has to grow up without her father in her life. What do you think is most likely going to happen to this young child when she becomes of age without her father to give her guidance and direction in her life? Will she fall victim to society? The odds are very high that that could happen. And it's just a sad situation, man. This just this just does something to me, guys. This literally just does something to me to see such fine young men of color, fine, I mean, upstanding young brothers doing something positive in life, getting killed left and right like it's nothing. Like there's no value on our lives. And I refuse to sit around on my hands and do nothing while this is happening. I straight refuse to sit around and watch my people get murdered and don't say or do something about it. That's why y'all see me on this channel spreading this news right now. Ain't no way I'm gonna sit here and say nothing or do nothing. No way. They have no value for our lives. And I told you this in the last video I made. The sinners of the Gentiles have been awakened against us. And there are more wicked and strong to do evil than all the children of man. So what better way to get revenge on a person for testifying? I'm just saying it like it is. It seems as though, and then this is my opinion, it seems as though they just wanted revenge on this young man for testifying in this trial, even though they're saying there's no evidence of it. The police aren't really saying anything about investigating it. They're not really saying anything about investigating. And if you look at them, they're walking around all nonchalantly. There were witnesses that told them they seen a silver car pull off, speed off, a silver sedan. But with all these cameras and red light cameras and stuff, you would think they would catch them super fast, like nothing. But they don't have any leads or anything, or they're not disclosing any leads if they do have it. Man, this is terrible. This is terrible. This young man with everything going for him, just like Bo, everything going for him. Not standing on the corner selling drugs, not walking around with guns, shooting and trying to kill someone. And as a matter of fact, Lee Merritt posted post on Facebook saying that this guy was in fear that he was going to be a victim of gun violence all the time. He wasn't the one walking around with guns being Mr. Billy Bad. He was a good young man. A good young man. He was managing Airbnbs and in California, and oh my God, this is heartbreaking to see our young people get targeted like this by people who they can care less about our lives. They can care less about our lives. So I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words. I feel for his daughter. I feel for his mother. I know she wish she wouldn't have never testified in that trial. She probably, and she, according to Lee Merritt, said that she believes it was foul play. So again, that's two young men within a little over a year that lived right across from each other. Gone, gone. Both with promising futures, bright futures, both senselessly murdered. And I want to go ahead and get out of here because I cannot. I'm literally at a loss for words. I just had to come on here and let you guys know um, what was going on. And I know a lot of you already probably know, but I had to give my own perspective on this. Jacob's trouble. That's what it is. We are in the middle of Jacob's trouble, in the midst of it, the beginning of it. I meant not the middle. We're in the beginning of Jacob's trouble, and it's going to get much worse before it gets better. So begin to seek his face. Begin to seek the law. Get back to your culture. Don't let anybody tell you that the Bible is not real. Don't let anybody tell you that, because even if they convince you that the Bible is not real, they already know that it's real. They believe it's real. They know it. And they're doing everything in their powers to keep you from it. So again, I love you guys. I'm going to be praying for these families, the Johns and Miss Karen McCoy, who is Joshua Brown's mother. And Botham John's mother said this is like losing Botham all over again. It's senseless, but it's not surprising. It's not surprising. This happens to our people every day, all over the world. It's not just in this country. It's not just the police. Civilians are killing us too. I told you, there are many sinners of the Gentiles in all aspects of life. Some are teachers, some are doctors, some are lawyers, some are caretakers in nursing homes, some are daycare workers, CPS workers. They're in every aspect of life. So you have to really be vigilant in what you're doing, where you allow your children to go. Because truth be told, our young men, women, and children are being targeted because of who they are. Plain and simple. I love you guys. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, notification bell. The notification bell. And I'll see you guys in the next video, man. because trust me, I know I'm gonna be making another one real soon. I love you. I'm out.
I don't even want you to go to jail. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please?